French Toast Bites Ale. It's anytime ale, the cinnamon hits you on the back end, so it's very malty on the front end. We pour the bites right in the mash, and what happens is the spice gets extracted straight from those bites. They love it because they think it's going to be like stouty or dessert beer. I said, no, it's an anytime ale. You can have it for breakfast, lunch, dinner. Like, you can have it with anything. It pairs well with like a smoked cheese, like a smoked Gouda or a smoked cheddar. It can't stay on the shelf. I wasn't a huge beer drinker before, but I always had a respect for the craft brew industry. I have a respect for anything that's made in small batches and made locally. So this is fit in line to what we already do, but I was never really in it, besides just an occasional drinker. But now I'm all the way in. It just came at a time where like these systematic injustices are highlighted, especially with small black businesses, and everything just fell in line and folks were excited and rallied behind it. I'm the first black female in the state of Pennsylvania with her own signature brew. I used to manage the Lansdale Farmers Market for 7 years, and during that time I had this unique opportunity to see independent food producers live their dream under a 10 by 10 white tent. And it got me to thinking, I could do this.
Hot, ready to eat.
And then once I learned some of them who were making 6 figures, I was like, oh, I'm on the wrong side of the tent.
How do you want to hook it up?
So you do a little research and development. I know I like French toast. My friends always request it when I make it, and they said, just make the French toast. And I took a leap of faith. On November 15th, 2018, I resigned from my day job, and 2 days later opened up at the Christmas Village. And the first 45 days of that event was 75% of the salary I left behind, and it's just been on from there.
I'm excited.
You have traditional French toast, but our French toasts are hand-cut, deep-fried, in bite-sized pieces, so you can just pick and go. If you don't get any toppings, you can eat them with your fingers. But most people get toppings because it's unlimited. You can hook it up, and then you eat it with a fork, and you're walking around. It smells good. It tastes good, and it's fun. I knew people would like the French toast, but I didn't know people would like it all day. So it's like one of those breakfast anytime things. Philly will tell you how they feel about you. I mean, they booed Santa. So because it went over well with Philadelphians, it just went over well and kind of took over the whole city. So you found us at all the big events. It's fun, and it smells good, and it's for your cheat day. Hashtag cheat day.
This is a workout.
The beer came at a time when I didn't know what business was going to be for me in 2020. With the shutdown of large gatherings, no events, in my world, no events, no people, no business. A gentleman named Joe Modestine from Doylestown Brewery, he reached out to me. He said, would you like to collab on a beer? I shot up there so fast with my bites in hand and the spice. He opened the spice, tasted the bites. He said, we can make a beer. We talked about a different couple variations. We knew we did not want it to be a dessert beer because you're kind of like one and done. We wanted it to be an anytime ale.
It's really French toast bites inside the beer.
It tastes like French toast bites. Never in my wildest imagination I think I would ever have a French toast bites beer. But you know, it just speaks to being flexible and responding to a changing marketplace. Like, beer was deemed essential during the pandemic. When you start doing your research and you start looking at, you know, who's brewing beer in this town, and I'm not seeing much diversity in the craft brew industry in Pennsylvania. So, you know, you did some digging, I'm like, wait, am I the first black woman in Pennsylvania to have like a signature brew? And the answer was yes. I think it speaks to my purpose in life to keep knocking down these doors and keep blazing these trails to make it easier for whoever else wants to do it behind me.